You think about some of these major companies that have been around for decades, maybe more than a century, that had failed to adapt and went out of business. Think about things like Kodak, huge company. BlackBerry, remember when, if you were in business, everybody had a BlackBerry. Going to the airport and being so envious of people that had a BlackBerry, never had a BlackBerry. And those companies were hugely successful and they're gone, right? And Kodak might still be in business, but they're a shell of themselves because they didn't what? They didn't adapt to the times. And I want you to think about your health because from a medical perspective, we're talking about static things when it comes to your health. Your blood pressure should be 120/80. Your cholesterol should be this. Your white blood cell count should be this. And you have these normal ranges, but the reality is that you should not be static. We are dynamic beings. And one of the most important factors when it comes to getting healthy and staying healthy is your ability to be able to adapt to your environment. And I'm talking about physical stress, chemical stress, and emotional stress, right? So throughout a typical day, think about all the things that your life and your health and your body go through, right? So physical stress, right? You're sitting, you're standing, you're driving, maybe you're lifting things. And actually one of the most stressful things we do is sitting at a desk or looking down at a phone. Those are very stressful to our body. Or chemical stress. It's very hard to avoid chemicals in our environment today, whether it's in your food, shampoos, conditioners, and then emotional stress. We have higher emotional stress levels now than I think we've ever had. And so the key there is not the stress, it's how you respond to the stress. So going back to your blood pressure, you don't want to have a static blood pressure of 120/80. You want that blood pressure to be up at certain times. You want it to be lower at certain times, right? If you run up the stairs, you're working out, you want your blood pressure to adapt to that versus if you're just sitting there relaxing. So the key is to be dynamic. And one of the most important factors, if not the most important factor when it comes to adaptation is your nervous system. Because everything is filtered through your nervous system, right? So if you're running and or working out or exercising, or maybe you get very stressed about something, that's filtered through your nervous system, right? Your eyes see it, your ears hear it, and then it has to go through a nerve, and it goes where? It goes to your brain. So your brain can send via a nerve back out to your thyroid or your adrenal glands or to your heart, to your lungs to adapt to that, right? So think if you're running, your brain has to constantly talk to your heart and your lungs and go, how much more blood do we need? How much less blood do we need? How much more oxygen do we need? There's this constant communication. All those things have to run through your spine. So if your spine is out of alignment or if it's restricted in its motion, it cannot adapt as well. Think about germs and viruses, right? We're constantly exposed to germs and viruses. We have cancer cells in our body every single day. Did you know that? We have anywhere from 100 to 10,000 cancer cells every day in our body. But what happens? The majority of the time, your body recognizes that those cells shouldn't be there and it kills them off. Because why? It's adapting. So when you think about getting your spine adjusted, when you think about doing your spinal rehab, your spinal traction, your wobble seat, or whatever your particular exercises are, I want you to think about adaptation. Don't think about back pain and neck pain. Oh, it's great to feel good and it's a great byproduct when we get adjusted. But think about how much better your body is going to adapt to your environment, and not only to stay healthy, but a better quality of life. The better we adapt, the better our life is going to be overall. And you don't just do that now, you do that for the rest of your life and continue to pursue being able to adapt better to your environment.